Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Erad and I just came back from Bar Citizen Taipei. Shout out to everybody who helped organizing this event. Of course, Morphologist, but also Nilastra and Metamorph and plenty of other people. Cipher was absolutely also awesome in the VR booth. I think we really had all a great time, and also CIG came and it was pretty cool to see the staff there. John Cruz, Xylo, and Erin Roberts, and there was a pretty lengthy Q&A session. And so for you guys, I've made a little transcript of all the questions that were asked and also the answers given by the team, mostly John Crew, but not just. So first, other than creating new ships, John's team often goes back to older ships. John was then asked the relation between gold standard and the resource management system. John said that the resource management system is for multi-crew ships mostly. Relays is, for example, one of these examples here. For example, we can see them in the Retaliator. For 4.0, the most 10 to 15 popular ships are going to be equipped with these relays. Speaking of gold standard, John said that there is not one definition for gold standard. In fact, each ship has a different vision for what its gold standard is supposed to be. John then added that the resource management system is replacing the old pipe system, so changing all the ships is indeed taking a lot of time. Every ship would support the resource management system, but not every ship will have gameplay associated with it. For example, the Gladius will only have one engineering mode, so there's not much gameplay regarding the resource management system when it comes to the Gladius. What will happen after the gold standard? The gold standard is not a set standard, John says, because it involves after something is then put into the game. That means that we are not going to get things like a platinum standard or both gold, but one ship may be gold standard now, but if new systems get into the game, there will not be any more. The next question relates to a feature of the Carrack that is not there yet. It's about the retractable hard canopy of the Carrack. Personally, I had no idea that the Carrack had this feature. And John said that in lore, ship glass is extra tough, a little bit like transparent metal, he said. And so we don't really need a retractable canopy like the Fury Legs, for example. The retractable canopy of the Carrack will add additional protection compared to the regular glass canopy, but it's not going to be much of a difference. The next question is about manual reloading, and we were told here that yes, indeed, we can use the tractor beam to load missiles, but will it be the same for ballistic ammo? It seems that a lot of ships that need to be loaded from the exterior, but will ships have interior loading as well? This is something that John Crew would like to do for ships, especially for large ships like the Javelin or the Idris. There will be multiple entry points in which we'll be able to fill in ships with food, ammo, and supplies. It will be like a feeding spot for the ships. We'll put the required resources and then the ship will distribute everything by itself. The next question is about gold standard. Again, John's crew was asked which ship was the first gold standard ever, and John said here that the Gladius was the first gold standard ship when it was remade last year. Any ship released after that is considered gold standard at that time moving forward. Next, a funny question here regarding the Constellation and its toilets. And John Crew said that the Connie has indeed some issues with the toilets as well as the table that doesn't come up anymore. John Crew acknowledges that the Connie needs a rework to be put into a more modern standard. Speaking of bathrooms, John Crew gave an interesting anecdote because it seems that UK ship teams always put 2 taps per sink in the bathrooms because that's how it is in the UK, while US teams only put 1 tap because that's how it is in the US apparently. The next question is about character scanning. For example, the Cutlass Red is supposed to be a rescue ship, but will there be ships to scan that will be able to scan people? And John Crew here said that there is nothing planned at this point. It's more about the ability of the radar to be able to scan people. So if there's a specific radar capable of doing so, then it should be able to do so. We understand that the vehicle team always tries to surprise the community. So let's talk about Crusader Industries. The community asks, originally it was a philanthropist company. Would it be possible that we might see a Crusader starter ship in the future? John Crew said that there's always a possibility. He said that it's been a goal to have a starter ship for each manufacturer, and he said that during last year's CitizenCon we saw some shapes of ships that were revealed, but these ships have not been announced yet, so we should keep an eye for that. John Crow remained evasive and hinted that one of such ships could indeed be a Crusader starter ship, but did not directly confirm it. Is there a plan for water surface-based vehicles, or will ships be able to float instead of exploding? John Crew said that yes, he hopes ships will be able to be buoyant in the future. They don't want the ships to explode anymore and react appropriately instead. As far as vehicles that are able to be on water or just float, this is something that the team would like to do. It's not planned in the near future, however. Especially if there is something introduced like that in the PU, there should be a reason for it. In Squadron 42, there will be boats, but that's because there is a reason for that. The tech has been developed, there is just nothing at the moment that justifies the introduction of boats. Next, there was a question about the renaming of ships here. Has the renaming of certain ships been considered? John Crew said that it's been the case. For the cutter, it was supposed to be a small cutting ship accompanying the reclaimer, but Chris Roberts said that he wanted the cutter to be a drag ship. Mirai also includes ships that used to be MISC, but did not really fit into the MISC lineup. In fact, the Mirai Fury was supposed to be the MISC Fury, and even in the files it is called the MISC Fury, which shows that the name change was done relatively late in the development of the ship. The Esperia Glaive and the Enfield Gladiator are some of the oldest ships in the verse yet, but they don't have any paints available. The next question here is going to asking whether or not these ships are going to have a skin, and what determines whether a ship receives a specific skin. John Cruz said that making paint requires a lot of time and resources that's not spent for making new ships or working on other ships. All ships will have their own paints in the future, but they always prioritize the ships that are used and popular. For example, the Cutlass Black is the third most used ship in the verse, while the Scorpius, as surprising as it may seem, ranks only at number 30, which seems quite low. And if you're wondering about the Starfarer, well, it's number 64 at the moment. As far as the Gladiator is concerned, well, it is so low that John Crew does not even remember its ranking. What about the MISC Raptor? When is that coming up? John Crew does not have a date for it. It's actually in Squadron 42 as a background asset. It's a static prop for a location in particular in Squadron 42. Will we see weather effects in the game in 4.0? What about Bounty Hunter V2? Of course, John was not able to answer about Bounty Hunter V2. Erin Roberts did not say anything, but John said that rain is impacting ships in the game right now, but that's basically as far as he can go when it comes to this question. Next, this is a question for Erin Roberts here. With mesh testing happening right now, is it a sign for Pyro in 2024? Erin Roberts said it's a very positive sign. Xylo also added that the change of 3.23.2 to 3.24 does not change any release goal for this year. Also, Erin was asked another question here. Will there be another Pyro playtest before CitizenCon? And Erin said that there should be a number of them, so more than one, before CitizenCon, because CIG need as many people as possible while doing these tests, so it should be happening in the tech preview as well. After that, some of the questions were asked by Morphologist himself, who had a chat with John Crew, and eventually talked about the Banu Merchantman. Right now, teams are not working on it. That's not a surprise. We already knew that. The last thing that was worked on the Banu Merchantman were the bathrooms. And when the Defender was done, they were hoping that they would add some parts or materials to the Banu Merchantman. But because of the way the Banu Merchantman is structured, it ends up being impossible to do. It worked with other ships, like the Hammerhead is made with some of the Idris's interior kits, but for the Banu Merchantman it was impossible. Morph then mentioned the Polaris. John Crew said he is really happy with the work of the interior. Some big rooms are being tackled right now, and engineering is being done at this moment. It will be quite different from the concept that we've seen before. Apparently, there will be a giant room where all the big components will be located. John Crew said that his favorite location inside the ship is the torpedo room because the torpedoes will be loaded via a track similar to those found in a distribution center. John Crew confirmed that also the new torpedoes will be very expensive, especially since these are size 10 torpedoes. So there we have it, guys. That was a little recap of the question and answers given by CIG at Bar Citizen Taipei. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below or in my Discord. I was there for the last 3 hours, so I missed a little bit of the event, but it was quite awesome, and I got to shake hands with Xylo and so other people of the community. It was really cool. If maybe I saw you at Season Con and we said hello, also let me know in the comment section down below. With that comes the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, I wouldn't be able to do all that content without my Patreon and YouTube members, including Dr. Forbin, Zero Kosher Deploy, Fidel, Ducky to Docker, and Shadow Rise. I've been Irad. I'll see you guys in the next one.